What's up, guys? Today we're playing Epic 7, and today we're running a little experiment. I'm going for the 1 billion gold badge, and I have no idea how long it's going to take. I also don't know why I'm doing this, so that's probably a different problem. But today we're going to spend 1 million stigma, see how much gold that gives us, and how much longer we'll need to farm to see that billion. I honestly have no idea how long it's going to take or how many thousands of energy we're going to need. Hopefully it's not too bad, but we're going to find out today. Here we go, let's get started. If you guys missed my guide on how to make a lot of gold, then I'll link that for you here so you can go and check it out. But mostly what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and use the penguin method. I'm going to get as many penguins as I possibly can by farming, and then I'm going to sell them. Now, as you can see, I do have some gold here, 545 million. I'll be taking the perspective of maybe you start at 0, which maybe some of you have, but let's go ahead. We're going to get rid of all of our penguins right now and start completely over from scratch. That gives me 85,555 of these silver sky stones. That kind of felt good, and it kind of felt terrifying. Let's go in now, and we're going to look at the Forest of Souls. The Forest of Souls has one penguin for 102 stigma. Now we're going to be spending 1 million stigma, just in case you have a million stigma laying around, and we're going to see about how many penguins we get from each one and how much that's going to be worth. Clicking this isn't very fast. I have to go in and click, oh my goodness, 900 times. And honestly, I even forgot what I was doing. So let's get rid of these guys too. What was I clicking on? Here we go. Get rid of these guys. Sell them, 132,000. I'm going to start with 1.5 million stigma. So I'm trying to get down to about, what's that, 500,657. Not too bad. That should give me plenty of stigma in case I want to 6-star anyone, but really don't have that problem. Let's go ahead and we're going to get started. This is going to probably take forever just clicking on the +10. I'm going to speed this up quite a lot so that you'll have to sit here and listen or watch this. We're hopefully going to see what the real drop rate is on these penguins. I know that the Forest of Souls does tell you a drop rate, but if I go 9,000 times or 900 times, is that the real drop rate that we're going to experience? And if so, how much gold is that going to give us? Stick around, we're going to keep going, and we're going to see how this shakes out. All right, here we go. That was the most boring 20 minutes of my life. My goal was to hit at 500,657. I actually got a spirit well by accident and went a little over. So we have a little bit less, 498, 643. That means I spent 1,002,014 stigma. So let's see what that got us. First, let's go ahead and look at the building improvements. We see that the newbie penguin should be a 70%. Experienced penguin should be 27%. And the epic penguin should be 3%. Now when we go in, here is what we have. We did end up with 6809, which is 69%, 2703, which is 28%, and 295, which is 3%. So actually, that turns out to be pretty spot on, doesn't it? Pretty spot on. So with 1,002,014 stigma, we end up with 105 million gold. Actually, it's not too bad, right? Also, we get some silver transmit stone, which are good, so we can use that to buy other things. But what does that ultimately mean? It means that we had 105 million gold and 1,002,014 stigma. That's 105 stigma per gold. Now, if we want to go to a billion gold from 0, that means we need 9 0.5 million stigma. Now we can do that by going into the levels, whether you go into your story mode or you go into unrecorded history or you're doing a side story, all of it counts. But how many of those do we actually need to hit that, including the gold that we get from selling equipment and also the gold that we get from doing the actual level? So let's go ahead and we're going to check that out next to see how long this might take us. Here we go, farming episode number 4, and we are just in the very first map. We're going to utilize this as our gauge to kind of see how much stigma we can expect and how much gold we can get per level. We're going to go from there to maybe estimate how much or how long it'll take to get to 1 billion, assuming that we have long enough to play and assuming we have the desire to do it. Let's see how long that takes. Now we do get 5,680, which is pretty good. Then we're also going to get some gold from selling equipment. Now, assuming on average you get one and we sell that, that'll be 1,759. And you're also going to get some materials for leveling up your gear, and that's really good. We get 283 stigma. We also see that we get a 2-star dude. It's a dude. It's not a monster, it's just a dude. And that one, if you transmute it, and that's really the only option, is that will give you 80 stigma on top of that. So let's assume that we average, on best, probably one of those, right? Let's say we average one. Now that means that we're going to get about 363 stigma per level. Now, assuming we're going from 0 to 1 billion gold, we're going to need 9.5 million stigma. At 363 stigma per level, that's 26,180 levels. Now that's assuming, again, that you're going from 0 all the way to 1 billion, never spending anything, just trying to hit that mark. That's a crazy amount because that means that you'll need 209,000 energy, way too much. But because we're getting some gold from doing our normal levels, we have to consider that as well. So where does that leave us on the quest to get 1 billion gold? Well, assuming you're going from 0 all the way to 1 billion, you're going to need a rough estimate of 7.9 million stigma. That sounds like a lot. It's actually not that bad. It's very doable. 7.9 million stigma is about 21,928 story mode levels. The story mode is important because it's going to help you out. It's going to give you a little more stigma and a little more gold than you would get from doing hunt. Of course, you don't have the ability to get any gear, but if you're just going for gold, then definitely story mode's the way to go. You're going to get roughly 168 million gold from doing the story. That means you need 837 million from your penguins. Now, how much energy is that, right? That means you need 175,427 energy. Man, how many leaves is that? It's 2,192 leaves. That is a ton of leaves, a ton of time. At 1 minute per level, 21,000 minutes. I mean, it's an insane amount. I feel like we need a better prize. If we go through and look at our badges here, this is the badge for getting 1 billion gold at one time. It's blue and I guess sort of a silver. And this needs to be, some red and gold. This needs to be some purple and gold. Something. When we go down to one of these, this one right here, Hunt 13, 50,000 times, I feel like 1 billion gold, probably a little harder than getting the 50,000 hunts, although you could do them at the same time. This one, a much cooler badge. I'm not sure how much I'm going to support this, but I think we're definitely going to go for it. I have 737 million already. It's just a short jump to get to 1 billion. I wonder how long it's going to take. Maybe it takes me all the rest of the year. Who knows? But we're going to try it. It'll be something fun, and it gives me a goal to shoot for. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a like so other people just like you can find it as well. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck on your battles.